Welcome to Fairy Animal Stories, your go-to place for heartwarming and emotional humans and animal stories. As once upon a time, in a bustling city nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, there lived a police officer named Officer James. He was known for his stern demeanor and strict adherence to the rules. Every day, he patrolled the streets, ensuring that order was maintained. But deep down, James had a heart that yearned for connection, though he rarely showed it. One crisp autumn morning, as the golden leaves danced in the wind, James was walking his usual beat near the city park. The park was a favorite spot for joggers, families, and children playing. But that day, something unusual caught his eye. A scruffy, thin dog with matted fur was rummaging through a trash can near the park entrance. The dog's ribs were visible, and its eyes were filled with a mix of fear and desperation. James frowned. Stray animals were not uncommon in the city, but this one seemed particularly troublesome. The dog growled as James approached, baring its teeth in warning. James, thinking quickly, reached for his pepper spray. He had been trained to handle aggressive animals, and he didn't want to take any chances. With a quick motion, he sprayed the dog, causing it to yelp in pain and retreat into the park. The onlookers gasped, and a few children began to cry. James felt a pang of guilt but brushed it off, telling himself he had done what was necessary. He continued his patrol, though the image of the dog's pained expression lingered in his mind. Later that afternoon, as the sun began to set, James found himself back near the park. He noticed a small crowd gathered near the fountain. Curiosity piqued, he approached and saw the same scruffy dog lying on the ground, whimpering softly. Beside the dog knelt an elderly woman with silver hair and kind eyes. She was gently wiping the dog's face with a damp cloth, whispering soothing words. James felt a knot tighten in his stomach. He stepped forward, and the crowd parted to let him through. The woman looked up, her eyes filled with sadness and a hint of anger. "Do you know this dog?" James asked, trying to keep his voice steady. The woman nodded. "This is Max. He's been my companion for years. I live in the old cottage by the woods, and Max always stays close to home. But yesterday, he ran off after a rabbit, and I couldn't find him. I've been searching all day." James's heart sank. He looked at Max, who was now wagging his tail weakly, despite the pain. The dog's loyalty was evident, even in his suffering. I didn't know," James stammered. "I thought he was a stray. He seemed aggressive, and The woman interrupted him gently. "Max is a good dog. He's just scared and hungry. He wouldn't hurt anyone." James knelt beside her, feeling the weight of his actions. "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt him. Is there anything I can do to help?" The woman smiled softly. "You can start by helping me get him home. He needs rest and care." Without hesitation, James carefully picked up Max and carried him to the woman's cottage. Along the way, the woman introduced herself as Mrs. Thompson, a retired schoolteacher who lived alone. Max had been her only companion since her husband passed away. At the cottage, James helped clean Max's eyes and made sure he was comfortable. Mrs. Thompson prepared a warm meal for the dog, and James watched as Max ate eagerly, his tail wagging with renewed energy. Over the next few days, James visited Mrs. Thompson and Max regularly. He brought food, toys, and even a new collar for the dog. Slowly but surely, Max began to trust him, and the bond between the three of them grew stronger. One evening, as they sat by the fireplace, Mrs. Thompson turned to James and said, "You know, Officer James, sometimes we make mistakes. What matters is how we make amends. You've shown kindness and compassion, and that's what truly defines a person." James smiled, feeling a warmth in his heart that he hadn't felt in years. Thank you, Mrs. Thompson. Max has taught me a lot about patience and understanding. I'll never judge a book by its cover again. From that day on, James became a champion for the city's stray animals. He worked with local shelters to find homes for abandoned pets, and even started a program to educate the community about animal care. Max, now healthy and happy, became the program's mascot, spreading joy wherever he went. And so, the stern police officer, who once saw the world in black and white, learned to embrace the colors of compassion and love. The tale of the stray dog and the kind-hearted officer became a beloved story in the city, reminding everyone that even the smallest acts of kindness can create ripples of change. And they all lived happily ever after.